Get ready with me for school while I tell you a story time. Basically, as you know, I'm blind in my left eye, so I need like a certain Chromebook to use for school. It's like big and like has like touch screen and stuff like that, so it's like super cute. But recently it hasn't been working, so like yesterday it has been working, so I had to tell my teachers about it, and they were all like, you know, okay, we'll do this, we'll do that, whatever. And she's like, well, you can zoom it in, so it should be okay. And I said, no, like, I need more modifications than that. And she's like, just use it right now, it's really important. Like, the assignment. Which, I don't really know what she meant by important, because it's not like a test or anything, or like something that's worth a mastery grade, so I don't know what she's talking about. And she just keeps telling me to use the Chromebook, and I was like, okay, whatever. So I grab the Chromebook and I don't do anything on it, because first of all, I can't. It's not like I'm not supposed to use those. And she clearly doesn't understand. And I know she knows that I'm blind. And I know she knows that I need those like modifications. So like, what's going on? So I grab the Chromebook and I just sit there with it. And I don't do anything with it because I can't see it. I start writing in my like notebook ideas and stuff like that, because what am I supposed to do? And multiple people and teachers and people from the office have told me that if I don't finish something, it won't be late because I don't have anything to work with. The principal has made like a group chat with all my teachers and sent out a thing that said my Chromebook isn't working. I don't know if the specific teacher just doesn't know about this issue, hasn't checked her email, which she should have because she's a teacher. She should check her email like every hour. It just makes me upset that teachers don't understand and like will put in the extra effort, you know? Goodbye.
Get ready with me to get fired from my job that I literally just started. Since the age of 15, I've had several jobs and I've never been fired, so I find this funny. Yesterday, at the end of my shift, my manager was like, hey, I need to talk to you. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're giving me so much anxiety. And then she pulls me far away from all of my coworkers. And I was like, okay, now you're really giving me anxiety. Am I getting fired? Like, I was laughing because I was like, there's no way. She pulled me aside to tell me that my face looked so miserable at work that she didn't think I was a good fit for the job. I didn't know what to say. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not miserable. Like, I have nothing against this job. I told her I knew I had a resting bitch face, but I didn't realize I looked that awful at work. I subconsciously have to remember to raise my eyebrows and make my face look pleasant and welcoming, because if not, I look like the meanest human being alive and I look like I have a raging attitude, when in actuality, my face is just chillin'. For example, this is what I look like. Miserable, awful. Anyway, I guess we'll see if I get fired today for having a ugly face at work. It was just a minimum wage job, waiter job. I honestly don't really care if they fire me, like, it's not a big deal. Story time on how I got stuck on the water slide on the cruise. Go on this water slide, you have to weigh a bare minimum of 120 pounds. First day that I tried to go on the water slide, he weighed me and I only weighed 119.6 pounds. And he told me to go eat a sandwich and come back and I could try again. And I literally went and ate a sandwich and tried again, except for I still did not make the requirement. Next day, as I was walking past the water slide, I asked if I could try again, and for some reason, I magically hit 120 pounds. It was one of those water slides where the floor drops out from underneath you and you just free fall. I go on the slide and I have just enough weight to make it to the top ridge of the first loop, but I have to scoot my butt over it to make it down. On the second loop, I did not make it. I didn't have enough weight, so I went up and then I went down backwards. But when I went backwards, I went right past the door. So I was under the assumption that I got stuck in the only part of the water slide where there was no escape. I start panicking. I sit up in the tube. It's humid. It's hard to breathe in there. Water's rushing. Water's in my contacts. I'm trying to see. I realize that I'm in the clear part of the tube, so I look down. I'm on the part of the tube that hangs off the ship. Hundreds of feet down below is the ocean. And I'm like, don't look that way. So I look up at the guy who sent me down and I'm like, hey, I like clear the fog off the tube and I'm like, bang, and I'm like, how do I get out of here? I'm freaking out because in front of me is an upward hike on the water slide. I'm in a loop, okay, and I'm at the bottom of the loop. In my mind, it's up and up. I don't know how I'm supposed to get out. Well, he's pointing this way. He's like, go that way. So I moved this way into the water slide, which is like pitch black because it was dark and covered. And that is when I found the escape door. And the guy opened it up and he let me out. Gets me out and he was like, are you okay? And I literally look at him and I was like, that was not fun. And then I just left. And I'm a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, but that was horrifying.
Hey guys, get ready with me while I tell you guys a story time on how I fractured my back. When I was in 6th grade, literally every girl was becoming a cheerleader. So naturally, what did I want to do? I wanted to become one too. I then decided to ask my mom about it. She ended up saying no because when she was younger, she did cheer and she actually tore ACL twice. After begging my mom for so long, she finally caved in and got me privates, group sessions, and more. After taking some lessons, I eventually learned my front walkover, back walkover, and whatnot. But then COVID decided to hit and all my lessons stopped. So my parents ended up purchasing me an air track and tumble mats to keep on practicing. Because of new equipment I had, I was super motivated to practice, and I ended up practicing for around 3 hours a day downstairs or more. Soon enough, I ended up mastering my back handspring and front handspring after around a month. I started learning tumble passes, incorporating what I learned, and then after I decided I wanted to learn my back tuck. Around this time, I knew that tryouts were going to be happening in about a month, so I started practicing like 5 hours a day downstairs. Fast forward to 1 week before tryout, I started getting immense back pain and pain shooting down to my leg. I should have taken that as a sign to stop everything I was doing, but no, I was thinking, it's only 1 more week till tryouts. I can still do it. By the time tryouts came, I was in so much pain. I could barely even walk at that point. I pushed through tryouts and I ended up collapsing on the parking lot ground as I was walking back to my car. After several misdiagnoses, x-rays, MRIs, they ended up finding out that I had a fracture in my L5 and it's permanent.
I don't know if it's only my school, but we have one of the most aggressive cockroach problems I've ever seen. Ever! And it's not just like, oh, these are little cockroach. No, they have names. They're a family, like generation. There's a monarchy. They're a whole thing. And this isn't a new thing. I've been at my school for 9 years. I know that place pretty well. They've been around the whole time I've been there. Like every once in a while, you'll be walking around school. You'll just like look on the ground and see. And you'll just be like, hey Todd, happy Tuesday. And it's just become so normalized that you don't really notice them anymore. You know, until I'm sitting on your lunch tray. Like, I just thought it was funny. Got to go.